Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Emily here. Today I have quite an interesting video for you. It's not kind of like anything I've done before. I put up on my Instagram, Emilylandermusic, who would be interested to hear my experience with online auditioning for a BA honors degree in musical theater, which I am gonna be doing at Goldsmiths University, entry September 2022. Firstly, I want to say I'm sorry I haven't really been speaking much in my past two videos. It's been really busy being back home with family and seeing friends again. I hope to have a lot more videos out soon showing my adventures here in Ireland. But in the meantime, this video is about my auditioning experience. So musical theater is a degree in professional singing, acting, and dancing, so you can perform on places like the West End or Broadway, or just in musicals, which is amazing. It's something that I've always wanted to do since I was a little girl. And then I hope to get my PGCE in drama teaching a year later after my 3-year course. So, let's get on to the video.
When you're ready.
Oh, need to press play. So the schools that I applied for while doing this auditioning experience was Mount View, GSA, Guildford School of Acting through University of Surrey, Arts Educational, Goldsmiths, Erdang Academy, so 5. The real truth is I got rejected from every single school other than Goldsmiths. And originally I saw that as something I can look at myself and be like, Emily, you're such a failure. Emily, all that hard work was for nothing. Emily, you're never gonna make it because you didn't get into drama school. But I look at it now and I'm kind of like, you know what, it was an experience and it definitely motivated me to try my very best, and I love Goldsmiths. It's not drama school, but it's definitely something that I can use to benefit myself, my career, and my dreams, and I'm very excited about it. Auditioning for drama school, not very many people speak about the disappointment aspect. It's really not fair when you look at the rates, 1 to 3% chance of actually being accepted into the course. What these schools are looking for are a group of students to fit a production cast, meaning like 25 to 35 students to fit a entire cast. And sometimes you just don't make the cut. Not meaning that you're not good or anything, because you know you probably are very, very good and they know that. They look at you like you don't fit the character. A really good piece of advice that I heard was, drama school, if they don't accept you, they're actually doing you a favor because they know that you are not the right fit, or they cannot teach you what you need to be taught. It's not always the case of not being good enough or just making it, you know? Keeping a positive mindset with that. And yeah, so the first school I auditioned for was Erdang Academy. They made me do 12 exercises, which were like ballet and jazz combination. It was quite rough actually. Like it really was a lot to learn. And it gave me like 2 weeks to learn everything and film everything, which was quite intense. Then they said I could choreograph any dance that I want to show. I've been working with this amazing online teacher from Red Academy in the UK. Her name's Holly. She is absolutely amazing. She's really been teaching me everything that I need to know. So I worked with her. She choreographed this like sassy jazz dance for me. You know, I've been doing ballet since I was 2.5 and I'm almost 19, so I've been doing ballet for a very, very, very long time. But I dislocated my knee and I tore 2 ligaments, as well as I have a slight hip rotation. So I'm a bit injured. I'm very limited from what I used to be like when I was a competition dancer when I was younger. I definitely needed to find that balance between dancing what I had to dance for my future career and dancing for fun. And that's a whole other story. But anyway, that took about 2 weeks, but then just because I had mock exams and stuff, I had to ask for an extension. So I got like a 3rd week instead. I got everything filmed, and within maybe 2 weeks of sending it, they told me that I was unsuccessful. That definitely hurt because it was the first school that rejected me. Yeah, that was an interesting experience for sure. I don't really have many pieces of footage from that audition, but I'll show you anyway some clips. Then the next auditions that I had were, this was later on. Mount View was a lot later on actually. It was quite late into the year. It was maybe March or April that I actually got my audition material. So they asked me to sing a song, like a ballad, before, I think, 1965, I think. So like a classic ballad. They gave me this specific dance routine, which was quite like Charleston, old school jazz vibe, you know? It was quite difficult actually, because for me, I struggle with acting through dance, which is something that I'm going to be learning when I get to university. You know, I had to pick up the pace and actually do it. I kept messing up on a lot of the coordination aspects because I haven't been dancing like that in quite a while. But eventually I did get it, and I actually was very proud of the outcome. And then they asked me to do, I think they asked me to do a couple of exercises too. I had to upload everything to Google Drive, and so I got to see literally everybody applying. Not all their work and what they submitted, but I got to see their faces and their names, which was quite interesting. Whereas everything else, I had no idea who was applying. So here, as you can see, is me absolutely struggling to do this dance after a 8-hour day at school and a workout in lovely. So what they made me do with this dance for Mountain View was quite interesting. They made me redo it 3 times. So I had to do the dance, walk up, rewind the music, do it again, go back, rewind the music, do it again. I think it was to check about like my stamina and like my fit enough to do a dance like that. I'm not really sure, but it was hard. Like I remember I had to go and change the music and I was like, don't breathe. Don't show that I'm out of breath, because then they're gonna think I'm not strong or fit enough to do this dance. So definitely gave me a taste of what performing in a dance ensemble would be like, and it was quite interesting. Very difficult, and especially in Hong Kong where it's extremely humid. Like there was air conditioning in the dance studio, but like not really. It didn't really work. So I was dying in sweat. Wait, so when do I go back?
I mean, or I can count it and you can mute it.
I don't know, will they get mad at that though? I think it's fine. Maybe we could try it both ways and see.
Yeah. I don't think there's a problem with you muting it, because they said do it with no music. So there could be, God knows what background noises. Like if you weren't in a studio at home and you were at home, and you had your dog barking and a younger sibling having a tantrum.
We were trying to see what is allowed and what isn't really allowed in an online audition. Really, they don't tell you anything because it's very different to what it would be like if I were in person, you know? Like I get taught the routine, I get to do it. There, I had a lot of time to learn the routine and go over it with my teacher one-on-one. When you're on a camera versus when you're in person, you have to really over-exaggerate your movements and expressions, because the camera's not going to pick up everything, you know? It's a lot harder, actually. Like, I walked into this experience and I was like, wow, like, I get to take my time. I don't have to be surrounded by other people and be intimidated, but I felt very alone during the process. I mean, nobody else in my year at Hong Kong Academy was really doing anything the same, so I didn't really have anyone to relate to. And people often look at drama schools and just drama in general as something that the dumb people go into, but really, I had to work so hard for this, and I didn't even get into my top school. In fact, didn't even get into my second choice. It was extremely mentally tough on me, as well as physically, because I was being physically pushed and demanded, like in all sorts of different areas that I wasn't really used to. But again, I wouldn't change the experience for the world.
Basically, you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 to prep. Then 2 counts of 8 for the kicks on one leg. Then there's an odd count of 1, 2, 3, 4 before you swap legs. So basically, it's 2 counts of 8 in every position, and then before you swap legs, it's an odd count of 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm really hoping that's recording. Anyway. The issue is like, You have to always make sure the camera is in the right angle or the right area of the room, or the lighting is good, or if it's not blurry. Like, it's not just like you walk in there and you gotta do it. In so many of my videos, I had to literally put a disclaimer, like, so sorry, but I had no space. In this, yeah, sure, I'm in a dance studio at my school, so I had that, I admit, but I still didn't have enough space. There was always me getting cut out the camera or something. But when I was at home, it was a whole other story, but I'll get into that in a second. Okay. That was so messy. Ugh. Yeah.
Try not to, like, towards the end, don't need to be lazy in a bad way, but don't get tired. Don't like, fight through it, yeah?
Yeah.
And also, I feel like you can still kick that maybe. 1, 2, change, 3.
Crap, I lost my balance at the end.
That's fine.
My butt. Excuse me. Yeah. The arms, oh my god. See, with dance you have to keep it low. And a trick that I learned while doing online auditions was, instead of just putting them out like this, you know, you're gonna get tired and often you like will droop one next, but if you turn to the side and you actually do like a V, like you see I'm actually doing a V right now, and then I turn around like this, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't. And you keep your arms straight and they just stay in that position, and it actually really helps. That's what I was taught while doing this experience.
1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely.
Okay. And one thing that's extremely important while doing this experience is bring a water bottle, and I mean bring a fat water bottle. Especially if you're in a place like Hong Kong where it's roasting and you just need to keep hydrating yourself. Bring a protein bar, even if you have one, or bring like a snack. But just remember to keep eating and hydrate yourself, because it gets very physically demanding and you just need to have some energy sometimes, you know?
5, 6, 7, 8. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8.
That was bad. I'm doing that again.
That wasn't too bad. Don't be hard on yourself. 6. That was fine. Well, go watch it back. 5, 6.
Oh, that was bad.
Okay, we'll do it again. No, it's fine. Do it again. 7, 8. I think you're getting yourself worked up over it now. Yeah, let's just leave it.
Okay. Wait, I'm in my socks.
Why is she stopping? Oh, that was going really well.
I think it'll be better without the socks. One thing that I was really bad at doing was, after everything that I did and I knew it didn't go very well, I immediately showed a face like ooh or or made a sound, or called myself bad or useless or horrible. And you know, like, that is how I felt. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I felt very useless and I felt like I couldn't do it, or I was just absolutely at what I was doing. Looking back at it now, I shouldn't have done that. You know, you are what you say you are, and if I had been saying, you know what, Emily, like, you can do better than that, or you can keep pushing yourself, try again, try one more time. If I had kept going like that, I think I would have been a lot happier throughout this experience. What I was saying to myself is what I thought of myself. I became that, and I really regret not talking about myself more positively. And luckily I had such an amazing teacher who was so uplifting and so lovely to me, that she kept reminding me that I am good enough and I am doing better than I did last time. Even if she didn't think that, like, at least she said that. So always keep that in mind. I'm too tired for this.
Don't stress about it, okay? Don't stress about it.
Forgetting choreography is perfectly normal. I mean, it happens. We're only human. But yeah, you just keep going until you get a good take, and then that's all you can really do. My advice would be, if you've recorded it like 8 or 9 times. Like, seriously, you don't need to do it like a 10th or 11th or 12th time. Even if you've done it twice and you think you need to do it one more time, you don't. You just don't. It's a waste of time. You're gonna look the same, you're gonna sound the same, because you pick up habits along the way. Really. Unless you really feel strongly, there's nothing wrong with that, but personally, I don't think it's worth just sitting around doing retakes, and then just not being happy with any of them at the end of the day. Because you are always gonna pick up something that's wrong with you. It's just, we're human, it's part of life. One thing that I had to keep reminding myself was the reason I am going to train and study and become that professional dancer, singer, actor that I really want to be is to go to university or drama school. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to become that. Of course, you don't have to, but personally, that's why I was doing it. That's why I'm auditioning, is because I want to be the best version of my career that I can be. If we were perfect from the beginning, if we just knew everything and knew what we were doing, what's the point in even going to university or drama school, you know? Like, they'd be like, oh, well, she already knows everything, then we're just not gonna accept her. So don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, that's why you're going to study it. That's why you're going to train full time.
Don't stress about refilming it so you've got spare copies if it's just going to stress you out, okay? And I think that was really good. I think you should be really proud of yourself. You've done really well for the past few months.
I am a terrible turner. I am so bad. I did ballet. I've been doing ballet for years, you know? Like, I've been doing ballet for about 17 years, and I'm a terrible turner. I guess I've never, like, learned how to turn properly. And, like, I'm not saying my teachers have been bad and not taught me, because they seriously have. Like, they've taught me plenty of times, but I'm just not a turner. And actually, a tip for girls, apparently if it's that time of the month, girls, like, sense of balance is actually way off. I didn't even know that. Ballerina girls. But yeah, I've never been a great turner, so when these universities asked me to do these turns, I was like, oh no, like, are you kidding me? Like, I can't turn for my life. So I really had to keep a positive mindset in that and just keep trying and hoping the best, a really good turn or just a good outcome in general. Which wasn't very often, as you can tell from this video.
It's been a tough few months, yeah, on top of everyone that has to deal with auditions on top of A-levels and everything like that. You've had to do it via Zoom during COVID, like everything. So cut yourself a bit of a break. You should be really proud of yourself of what you've achieved, because you've worked really hard. Don't stress about it. Don't stress about anything.
Doing online auditions during a global pandemic, as well as taking the International Bachelorette, I tell you, when you want to be punished and you want to be tortured, like, seriously, just do what I did, because I had like an 8-hour day at school, and then I had maybe an hour-long break at home. Get changed, have a snack, do whatever. Then I had maybe 3-4 hours in the dance studio. Then I would only really get home at like 10-11 o'clock as well, and then I had to finish my homework, study for exams, tests. And you know, some teachers were extremely understanding about moving dates for tests. They were very, very understanding and accepting of what I wanted to do, whereas others really didn't care. They were like, you know what, like, my subject's equally as important, whereas it was not equally as important. It's not, it will never be. And don't ever let a teacher make you feel like that, because you know what you're doing, you know what you love, and seriously, if they're just gonna butt in and be like that, then they don't get it. Well, one day when you're famous and rich and they book tickets to your show, they will change their mind, I promise. So I chose Carly's Monologue from the musical, well, now adapted musical, Reasons to Be Pretty by Neil LaBute. I actually studied this play in 11th grade of IBHL theater as like a practice director's notebook, for whoever knows what that means. Then I thought it was a brilliant play, and that was an amazing monologue. It was really difficult because I watched different versions of the monologue online and everyone did it differently, so I took multiple different versions of this and I gave it to my drama teacher, Mr. Darren Scully, and he had a look over it and he picked his favorite ones, like top 3. Then I perfected it, and we were a go. Hi, my name is Emilylanderr, and today I will be reading a monologue. Hi, my name is Emilylanderr, and I will be doing Carly's Monologue from Reasons to Be Pretty, LaBute. Pretty by Leo. And today I will be doing... Hi, I'm very attractive. I am. And today I will be saying, I don't swear very often, but the amount of times that I have cursed in this video. And it's fine, you know, you gotta get your anger out some way with making these self-tapes. But I found it quite amusing to look over when I was editing this. At least monologue. This. My face. I was born with it, people. Beautiful woman. Okay. In that way, and it's no grid. That I don't understand how lucky that I got in many ways. I do get that. I've always been that way. No. Faces. I don't have any of those problems. And I'm happy about that. Nope. An extract. I will be. Hi, my word of advice would be if you're going to record a monologue, like for an audition or something, you can use a ring light, but if you want the best results, you see my natural lighting right now? Yeah, you could literally sit like this. Ooh, my laptop just fell. You can literally sit like this, have like a blank wall or something behind you. Never look directly into the camera, always look there, like there's someone sitting right next to it. Or look above it, or look this way. You know what I mean? Or like right there. Because if you're looking right into the camera, it kind of takes that whole magic away. If it helps, you could have a person actually sit right there and you just address the monologue to them. That's what I did with my dad many times, or my dog. No great. But I know girls who hate. I mean despise their noses and their mouths, or the fact that their eyes are too far apart on their faces. And action, action, action. Okay. And another important thing is just remember to have fun with it, because yes, you are trying to play a character and like somebody completely different, but if you completely forget who you are and forget to add characteristics of yourself. Oh, she's auditioning as Carly and not Emily playing Carly, you know what I mean? Whereas if you were auditioning for like a play or something, then it would be different, but this is university or drama school, you know? Like, remember to add bits of yourself. It's extremely important. Also, don't wear an excessive amount of makeup. Like, I think a bit of eyeliner, maybe a bit of lip gloss is fine, like concealer, whatever you want. But if you're covering up like features that are quite important, like my teeth are not perfectly straight, and I feel like that's part of who I am. So that's like my characteristics. My jaw's not completely straight, that's part of my characteristics. You know, I have freckles, that's part of my characteristics. So if you cover that all up and they don't see that, they won't know who you truly are. Very. No. Action. Next. It's next part of the monologue, but like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this one. Not blind, not blind, not blah, blah. Obliviation. Okay. I mispronounced this word probably 7 or 8 times. You know, it happens. I never said the word before, I never looked up how to pronounce it, so I just winged it. Bad idea. Don't do that. Read over the monologue many times before you actually do it. A little secret too. I didn't actually learn my monologue, I had the words in front of me. I don't recommend doing that because that definitely limited me with my face movement and stuff. Although when you're doing self-tapes, you shouldn't move too much because then it also takes away from the words and the message behind what you're saying. Just learn your monologue. I promise you, learn your monologue. I was oblivious to oblivious. Okay, I'm gonna watch that one more time. Obliviation, it is. So I've usually got some time on my hands to, you know, whatever, think I guess. I'm gonna try to do the same thing, but slightly more, like, oh, I'm doing that again. But I really hope that she's no more than pretty. Yeah, that's my wish. Obliviation. Okay, again. Obliviation. That another take with a higher scream. Action. Something people about. Okay, I'd hate that for her. The magnet. Oh my god. Okay. blind or anything. Like, I wouldn't wish that on her, but close. Eventually, after like a couple hours of filming, I figured out that I was pronouncing the word wrong the entire time. I was not happy with myself, so I had to basically scratch all of that and redo everything again. So again, take my advice, read over what you're doing first. So I said oblivion, and then I said obliviation, and then say oblivion. I'm an actor. That people are cruel in so many ways. And not just with their words, but with the way that they look at you and desire you and almost hate you because of it. Can't stop. My shift is if I turn that off, thank you. Oh my god. I'd almost hate you for it. Back to the beginning. GSA recall. So GSA was my dream school after some time. Like, it never originally was. Like, I went from Mount View to like arts ed to blah blah blah. GSA was a school that I loved so much. It was in the countryside. It had everything that I loved. Blah blah blah. I really felt like it could do a lot for me in my career. It definitely could have if I had gone there, but it didn't work out. Well, I auditioned for GSA and they made me do originally 5 dance exercises, which included like ballet and jazz a little bit, like kicks, plies, pointy stuff, straight back, which is not too difficult. I cannot remember if they were the school that made me do the push-ups, but a school made me literally do push-ups. And I was like, are you joking? I can't do one bloody push-up to save my life. I was struggling, if that's safe to say. I don't know where that footage is gone, but if I had that, I would be having a laugh, that's for sure. And then they made me sing a song of my choice, so I sung Getting Married Today by Stephen Sondheim from the musical Company, and then I sung Once Upon a Dream from the musical Jekyll and Hyde by Frank Wildhorn. He did the music, I think. It went very well, actually. It was one of my favorite auditions. So I got a recall. Go me! Bouncing in the air when I got a recall for that, because, you know, getting a recall for GSA is quite hard. And I was proud of myself. So the content was a bit harder this time. They gave me a song list to choose from, so I chose Waiting for Life from Once on This Island. So it was quite difficult and a lovely challenge, but challenge accepted, if you know what I mean. I submitted it, and about maybe 12 weeks later, which was so late, it took a long time for them to reply. They responded saying I'm unsuccessful. They were the last choice that I was waiting for before I could officially commit to Goldsmiths. If I got into this, I would be like I can't even explain. So at my dance audition, I already finished my singing and acting for it. Send it off. If they like me, then they'll offer me an interview. We'll see how that goes. Wish me luck.
For you.
Let me just see. Like,
performance, strength, more energy, because we know that camera takes out the energy. Just everything that we've done before, yeah?
Yeah.
So just switch it on. I know it's hard when you're at home, it's really awkward. It's just
yeah.
It doesn't feel. If you go wrong, do not shove it in your face.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cover it up. Sorry, what's saying? I couldn't remember. Start with the already up this. Whenever you're ready.
Can I start again? Oh wait, can we start? Can we start one more time? One thing as well, it's quite difficult when you have a teacher online on Zoom. Like, my teacher was 7 hours, 8 hours behind me. It was quite weird on Zoom because it's like I'm always like a couple of seconds behind her or something, you know what I mean? So she always thought I was behind when actually I was ahead of the music, if that makes any sense. When she's playing the music, I can't really hear what she's saying, and she can't hear what I'm saying. No! I got mixed up with the other exercise for a second. I had no space.
That was going so well. I was worried you weren't going to have enough room to go behind.
Having no space is a definite issue that you're gonna occur with if you do online auditioning. Like, I had to do auditions in my living room. Like, the amount of time that I kicked cabinets and like couches and doors and tables and chairs is insane. If I got money for the amount of times that I actually hit myself, I would be a billionaire. Trillionaire at this point. I did the wrong thing on this because you need to go behind and then front, but then the next one you have to go in front then behind, and I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, really.
I'm hoping my feet is in that. I'm really hoping. Yeah, it's just I go back twice and then I go. Oh. Then you also kind of have to consider if your feet are in the frame still, if your arms are in the frame, if your head's in the frame when you jump up. You know what I mean? Those last ones are so bad.
I was younger than you are now. When I was getting my first command, I led my men into a massacre. Witness that, that's first hand.
Perform it unless they've specified a head or anything like that. Like, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely. Like, do not stress yourself. These students that they're probably using are probably their dance students in their third year.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard because you've not been in a room with other auditionees. The problem is that you think everyone else is at the standard of the people that are being filmed right now.
Holly was really good with reminding me that the students that they probably use are their third years, the best of the best, you know. Which I completely disagree with. I think that's such a wrong way of doing it. They should show first years. They should really show first years or show other people who auditioned, you know? Definitely gives you a big scare originally when you're watching the video footage. It's a bit draining to watch all these people that are like absolutely perfect at it. And they often show the differences between girls and boys, so like I guess the girls kind of have to follow what the girls do and the boys have to follow what the boys do, but I don't know if that's actually a set rule or not. So I guess just do whatever's comfortable for you.
That was the best I've ever seen you turn.
I messed up the arms. I was like, I know, it's just so hard because it's like fast. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't think of my arms and my feet at the same time. I'm like, I cannot multitask for some reason. I'm just like, nope. I borrowed my mom's socks.
Ball change, step, tuck, jump, and one. Ball change.
Okay, take two. Getting frustrated with yourself is something you're gonna experience a lot, or more progressively angry, and then you just, you know, you get to the point where you're just gonna have to step back and take a break, which sadly happens more than you will ever realize.
Should you want to know, don't you mind about the future?
Doing the dance that Arts Ed gave me. It's from Jesus Christ Superstar, the musical. Very jazz, so it wasn't very diverse, if that makes sense. But if you're someone who's not a particularly dancer, it is quite difficult. It was a difficult dance for an audition and it was very long. My advice would be just break it up into counts of 8 and just learn it by counts of 8 and eventually you will get it. No, I'm done. And then here is my singing audition for Arts Ed. I did Maybe This Time from the musical The Cabaret. Liza Minnelli channeling. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me. Fun to begin. That's really high. My music teacher accidentally put the key of the song in like a really high key. Ah, wrong key. I got to the highest point, like something's bound to begin, and then I couldn't do it. This time from the Monologue. But nobody loves me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. Again, maybe this time. Happen sometime. Maybe this time. Maybe this time. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. But yeah, that's a wrap on all of my bloopers. I actually had a lot more bloopers, but I had to delete them to get more space on my cards to film new memories and all that jazz. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I don't know, my experience auditioning for musical theater was definitely not what I thought it was gonna be. You see in the movies how they all get scholarships to this and that. Really, that's just not the case unless you live in America and you're like Beyonce or something. You really have to work your butt off. Yeah, it says, according to collegeauditioning.org, the terrifying statistic I would like to share is that it is statistically easier to get into Harvard Medical School than most BFA musical theater programs. Many schools receive more than 2,000 applicants to yield an incoming class of 12 to 16 students. And before I said 25 to 35 because that's the biggest amount, but literally it's like 12 to 16 students. Whereas in Harvard Medical School, I presume they would have like 1,000 students or something, so that's why it's easier. It's not necessarily about your grades or about how good you are, it's literally about the quantity that they intake, which is insane and it's so unfair, but sadly that's just the way it works. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I wouldn't have rather have gone anywhere else. Like, you know, sometimes life takes a funny turn and you end up going somewhere that you didn't expect to go, but sometimes it can be the best decision of your life. So I'm excited to film that and share that experience with you guys. And if you guys have any questions or you guys are thinking of joining musical theater in the next fall or the next academic year, please don't hesitate to let me know and I can teach you everything that I experienced at least. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you good luck if anybody's auditioning for drama school or universities. I'm sure whatever happens is what's meant to be, and remember, keep going. You are good enough. Bye.